Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi, and welcome to episode 206 of Total Retail Talks. I'm Joe Keenan, Executive Editor of Total Retail. Joining me today is Michael Prince, President and CEO of USPA Global Licensing, Inc., the exclusive licensing arm and global broadcaster of the United States Polo Association. USPA Global Licensing manages US Polo Assn, a $2 billion brand with 1,100 US Polo Assn retail stores, e-commerce, and thousands of additional points of sale around the world. We're going to be discussing US Polo Assn's use of influencer marketing. Thanks for joining me, Michael.
Joe, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
So as I mentioned, we want to talk a little bit about US Polo Assn's use of influencer marketing. So maybe start from the beginning and talk a little bit about why the brand decided to invest in this marketing channel.
Well, we just thought it was really important. And, we got to the game a little bit late, unfortunately. But we realized having strategic influencers that are authentic to your brand was so important for us. And so we partnered with Hello Society and launched our influencer initiative about a year and a half to 2 years ago. And we've had just great results from it. We've got a great portfolio of influencers that we work with. And we've really learned a lot about our consumers and social media in the process.
So maybe let's talk a little bit about those influencers. What qualities are you looking? You mentioned you have a great portfolio of influencers, and when you go, looking for new ones and kind of go through that vetting process, what are the qualities that you're looking for in potential influencers that you want to partner with? Well,
for us, it's really about fit and authenticity. And as we evaluate potential influencers to partner with, we like to look at not only what they do, but their lives and their friends, and how that looks in relationship to our brand. And so, first of all, is finding that fit, that we feel like it's someone that we can work with very closely, be thoughtful and strategic with. And it's also about the authenticity. Does that person feel like someone that can connect with other consumers who love and appreciate our brand? And so I think those are the two biggest benchmarks for us. And we've proven that strategy out, and it's been very successful for us over the year.
What are the social platforms that you're leveraging influencers for? Is it YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, or certain different channels that you're more focused on?
Yeah, I'd say there's channels that we're more focused on and have more expertise, and then others that we're starting to learn more about. So for us, it's Instagram and Facebook are kind of 1 and 2 for the most important platforms. We do a little bit on Twitter. We're looking at Pinterest more, and YouTube a little bit as well. And then we also look at international platforms. So, WeChat's very important outside the United States, and that's a platform that we're starting to evaluate and understand the best way to reach those consumers as well. But for us, Instagram and Facebook are the most important today.
So you mentioned evaluating platforms. That's kind of a good segue in my next question in terms of, identifying goals for your social influencer marketing campaigns. It probably varies by platform almost, but overarching goals, is it, kind of driving brand awareness, getting traffic to the site and to the stores, maybe, all of the above there. Can you talk about, what your overall goals are when you kind of engage in this social influencer campaigns?
Yeah, I think for us, with US Polo Assn being newer to the social media and digital game, it's about building public awareness, and I would say also evaluating great creative assets. Obviously, you want engagement levels to be strong, but I'm actually okay with great creative if I don't get the engagement, if I feel like it's brand appropriate and we're doing right by the brand. You always want better engagement, and we've gotten that over the months as we've kind of learned the secret sauce. But for me, it's public awareness complemented by great creative, and then obviously engagement's kind of a distant third.
And you've been working with Hello Society for your influencer marketing campaigns and its campaign impact study tool. Maybe you can talk a little bit about how that has helped US Polo Assn measure against those goals that you just mentioned.
Well, what's been great about our strategy, and we look at this monthly with Hello Society, is that we've exceeded all our goals and our metrics, and they were very aggressive metrics and goals to begin with. And so with the additional analytics that they provided in their beta testing, we were able to really dig in and see what was working, what wasn't working, and what really, really worked. And so, I'm a big fan of, if it's not working, pivot hard. If it is working, double down and go harder. And so they've been great partners. And what we've loved about what we've seen through the engagement levels is that, build public awareness, great creative, but the engagement levels have continued to get better. And so we've seen really strong engagement levels for men, exceeding all expectations, and women's has been strong as well, but the men's side's been off the charts.
When you're looking at this, I'm interested internally. Is this, did you create a team that specifically works on influencer campaigns? Maybe does this fall within the kind of the realm of the marketing department? How do you, how's it structured in terms of US Polo ASSN and, executing these social influencer campaigns?
Yeah, great question, Joe. We've got a team that is a creative and marketing execution team. And so we work with Hello Society to lay out a 12-month toolkit that says, here are the influencers we want to use over the next 6 to 12 months. Here's the content they're going to provide on our behalf. And then here's the content that we're going to create internally on our behalf. And we share that content around the world. And, one thing that I'd like to mention is that, you mentioned the brand's a $2 billion footprint. We have 1,100 of our own retail stores, but we're also in 166 countries around the world. So you can't find many brands with a bigger footprint than US Polo Assn. And what I like about the strategy we've done with Hello Society and the marketing toolkits is that we share those toolkits with 166 countries around the world. So that same content's being shared in key cities and key markets, no matter the time zone, no matter the language, no matter the geographic location.
So when you look at the success of the program and you kind of go into the evaluation stage and you look at individual influencers, individual markets, as you mentioned, US Polo ASSN is really a global brand, 160 plus countries. What have you learned about your influencers? And then how has Hello Society helped in terms of that education process?
What we've learned about our influencers is that your gut's typically right on how you think about an influencer, and the ones that we were excited about that made sense have really performed well. And, in the beginning, we were changing a lot. Is this working? Is this not working? We've really doubled down and tripled down on the influencers that are working for the brand. So instead of using them just for a month or 2 months, maybe we use them every other month or throughout the year. And if something's not working, you make the exit quickly and pivot to what is working and double down there. So, I'd say we've learned a lot about our brand and which influencers work and don't work for that, and what our consumers think about those influencers and the impact it has on the brand.
And then kind of second part to that, in terms of evaluating the program itself, what are some of the results that you've seen, positive business benefits as a result of working with not only with Hello Society, but, your own internal work in developing a influencer network and really taking this program and getting it started?
I've seen a couple of things. First of all, our business grew double digits last year, and there aren't many multi-billion-dollar brands in the fashion industry that can say they had double-digit growth year over year at our size. So, I believe the social media influence that we're having, the influencers we're working with, the other marketing avenues we're looking at is building public awareness around the brand. So I believe that that's the first thing. So those are factual numbers that I can tie back to and say, there's an input there. There's an input and output. The other thing I would say is that I'm seeing the brand in places I hadn't seen it before. So I'm seeing it on the cool kids, the kids that you want to bring into your funnel. They're engaging with the brand. And I think when they look at the brand is sport inspired by the sport of polo. It's as authentic as they can get to the sport of polo. It's young, it's millennial, it's bright, it's fun, it's cheerful. You want to be with that influencer, or you want to be in those creative assets that were shot at a beautiful polo field or in one of our photo shoots. And so when I look at who's wearing the product and I look at the numbers, it shows me that our strategy with digital is working with our partners at Hello Society.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I was going to bring that up in terms of this social influencer campaign would seem to attract a younger demographic. And everyone talks about kind of the importance of acquiring millennials nowadays. Have you found that to be the case as you've engaged more digitally, social, the social influencers, that you're kind of growing that aspect of your customer base?
Yeah, we have. I'd say a large percentage of our social media following is millennial focused. And I mentioned we just launched our social media platforms a few years ago, and we're already over 4 million followers globally and adding thousands each month. So we're seeing tremendous momentum around our influencer and social media platforms. So it's been a huge win, and we can continue to see this great momentum with millennials. And one thing about millennials are they love authenticity, and you have to keep them engaged or you lose them very quickly. And I feel like our brand, because it's sport inspired, it's authentic to the sport of polo, it has a young feel to it. It brings them into not only the sport, but also the lifestyle of polo. And no matter where we're at in the world, I'm seeing that millennial engagement, whether it's China, India, Eastern Europe, Russia, the Middle East, the U.S., Latin America. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah. So my final question, Michael, is kind of looking ahead a little bit. You've created this program. You're kind of bearing the fruits of it now, but obviously, everything can be improved upon. What are some of the things that you have in mind as you look to continue to evolve and improve upon US Polo ASSN's use of influencer marketing? And then you could take that even a step further and just digital marketing as a whole. What are you going to continue to do to see these results that you've been getting?
Well, for us on Instagram, stories are becoming more and more important. So we do a great job on the post feeds, but that's a place where the storytelling, we have to continue to do a better job with that. The consumer is also looking for great snackable content. So at 30 seconds, what used to work a year ago may not work today. So really maximizing the shortest amount of time possible is important. Another place is being able to purchase product off your phone through Instagram or Facebook. We haven't activated that part of the platform yet. It's something we're working on. That to me is another great opportunity. And then, there'll be new platforms that show up. There'll be new opportunities that show up. We have to be engaged when they show up and really be able to execute in a timely manner. When you look at China, WeChat and Weibo are becoming so important to that economy and how consumers engage with brands and purchase. And so every place, there's different dynamics happening, but it's a never stop target, and we're always evaluating what's in motion. So.
Do you see this carrying over, and what type of impact do you see you having? You mentioned 1,100 brick and mortar locations. What kind of impact can this have on your physical retail business?
It's going to have a big impact because what's great about our retail footprint, that's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up because I'm proud of this, is that in a world where many brands have closed their retail stores or have gone out of business or closing retail stores, we opened 100 last year. We'll open another 100 this year. So we believe the right retail experience is still a game changer, and to be able to align that with your digital platforms and to be able to engage the customer in brick and mortar and through technology is just going to be more and more important. So one of our initiatives for late 2019-20 is to really enhance that consumer experience in store, but do it through technology and through social media platforms as well.
Yeah.
So you'll see more to come on that for the holiday season from this brand. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things happening with US Polo ASSN. So I want to take this opportunity to thank Michael Prince of USPA Global Licensing, Inc. for joining me today. Please check out our podcast channel page, mytotalretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. But make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. Also, please take the time to rate and review this podcast. Thanks, and I look forward to you joining us on the next episode of Total Retail Talks.